Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The CNMI gets confirmation of a new COVID-19 case. Also tonight, CNMI residents will be receiving a large sum of cash next week. We have the details. And additional funding from the CARES Act is heading to the CNMI for education. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour, so that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Right, rolling your eyes. So I'll turn it back on after dinner. Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Half a day to Ruwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, 2020. The CNMI has one new confirmed positive case of COVID-19. According to the COVID-19 Task Force and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation, one new positive case of COVID-19 has been confirmed in the CNMI. The individual was identified as a result of the community-based testing that is performed at the Saipan International Airport. The individual is a 17-year-old male who presented no symptoms, but CHCC has been working with the Centers for Disease Control in making a final case determination.
After consultation with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CHCC considers this case to not be a part of a new infection chain and is not considered infectious. The individual particularly was linked to our initial cluster that we've been monitoring over the last couple of weeks.
The individual is being isolated at Kanoa Resort. CHCC has started contact tracing with the individual's close family members, friends, and associates. Bautista states, as of May 5th, 1,984 individuals have been tested under the community-based drive-through testing. Of those, 1,476 have gotten negative results for COVID-19. One case tested positive, and 507 specimens are still pending. Individuals of the CNMI will soon be seeing a bit more money in their bank accounts as the stimulus check implementation plan has been approved. The CNMI's Economic Impact Payment Stimulus Check Implementation Plan has been approved by the Internal Revenue Service under the U.S. Department of Treasury.
They approved our plan on Sunday night, and we got word that we will be receiving about $37.6 million by this coming weekend. They mentioned about 3 days from the notice that they gave me yesterday. And so this monies will be in in our account in the Commonwealth, and we will be issuing out the stimulus checks next week as we planned and scheduled by mid-May.
All eligible CNMI residents will receive $1,200 per individual, $2,400 for joint returns, and $500 for each qualifying child. This includes SSA, RRB, VA, and SSI beneficiaries. But an income tax return must be filed for either 2018 or 2019.
Every citizen or resident that has a valid Social Security number, Social Security card, whether they have income or not, are availed of this stimulus check. They need to submit a tax return for 2019 if they haven't had one for 18 or 19. They can download the forms at our website at finance.gov.mp under forms. Download the 2019 CNMI 1040 CM and fill it out. Personal information like their addresses, their Social Security number, as well as their banking information if they want direct deposit. And all they need to do is put 0 on all the income boxes that ask for an income or a number.
These stimulus checks will be issued either by direct deposit or a check mailed to the address indicated on the return or last known address.
We just launched our web portal, and we have this site up and ready. It's they can visit finance.gov.mp and click on the link that's right there on our homepage and submit their information to get their stimulus checks direct deposit. I will note that the site is very secure and uses validation against people's tax returns that they filed in 2018 or 19. And so it does a verification before it even completes the process. People will who opt to not go through direct deposit will get a paper check. And we plan to process paper checks by the end of next week. And so the process goes through the same process we work our tax returns. So it goes through our system and we verify and ensure to make sure that the proper amounts are being sent out.
Adelig states the stimulus checks will be sent out starting Tuesday of next week, and that direct deposit will be the fastest way of receiving the money.
We're trying to get direct deposits out as early as Tuesday morning, and so people can probably see this in their accounts on Tuesday morning or Tuesday midnight. It does take a day for it to hit the banks, and then paper checks will be is a tedious process. We have over 40,000 recipients we're expecting to send out in terms of checks or direct deposit. So the fastest way for our residents to get their stimulus is via direct deposit. For those that want to avail of direct deposit, they'll need to have a copy of their 2019 or 18 tax return and their banking information. I want to assure the community that our site is very secure and with a lot of verification to ensure that the information we're generating and collecting is secured and verified to the taxpayer.
The Division of Revenue and Taxation is providing a tax return drop box at the entrance of their office for submission of tax forms. Digital versions of the required tax form can be found at the web address provided on the screen. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. The CNMI is receiving additional funding for education under the CARES Act. Take a listen. The CNMI will be receiving an additional $5.58 million under the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund, as well as $22.3 million for the public school system.
On the initial announcement and rollout of the first phase of the CARES Act education funding under the law, the CNMI was strangely not part of the first phase of the rollout, as well as Guam, American Samoa, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So initially, what we wanted to do was we wanted to get some clarification from the U.S. Department of Education.
Governor Torres received a letter from the U.S. Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, Wednesday morning in response to his request for the emergency education funding.
This is a pot of money that is given directly from the U.S. Department of Education, and there's no limit as to what the expenses would be taken care of. It's going to focus more so on just educational priorities that have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And one of this is our school operations, our government operations within PSS and NMC. So we're able to fund salaries, operations, and distance learning resources at both institutions.
Bautista says an application must be submitted to the U.S. Department of Education for a certification of funds before the CNMI receives the money. Former CNMI Governor Froilan Tenorio passed away at the age of 80.
Early Tuesday morning, Governor Ralph Torres announced the passing of the Honorable Froilan Cruz Tenorio. He was the fourth governor of the Commonwealth and also served as a congressman, senator, and the island's Washington representative. Tenorio passed away on May 4 at Fort Worth, Texas. He was elected into office as governor from 1994 to 1998. He was first affiliated with the Democratic Party and then later switched to the Covenant Party.
He was our governor during a time when the economy was very good. And I think he did very well in taking advantage of that opportunity and making sure that the people of the Commonwealth benefited from the good economy that we were in. To me, that's basically what I think the people of the Marianas will remember him by.
Tenorio also served as Speaker of the House of Representatives in the 17th Legislature.
I've had the honor and privilege of serving with him in my first term in the 17th Legislature. He was the Speaker at the time for a period of time before former Congressman Eli Cabrera took over the helm. He was, for me, even growing up, just reading the news and from what I know, I thought he was a good governor. I thought he was a good leader. Even serving with him, he was never really scared to hold back his punches, especially when it comes to helping the economy. He was a proponent for casino then, but overall he's always looking for the betterment of the CNMI, and that's something I admire about him. Even he's not afraid even to make unpopular decisions, and sometimes he wears his heart on his sleeve, but he always gets his point across.
One project Tenorio left behind for the people of the Marianas is the famous Beach Road Pathway. KSPN speaks with a former running mate and close friend who tells us more about Tenorio's time in office.
One thing that we can all remember is increasing all the employees during his tenure in office, their salary adjustment, and also have a great memory regarding the walk path that he built despite of heavy criticism during that period of time. We see more people are using that dream that he decided to build for our citizens and residents to use that path for their health measures. I know that he have successfully also assist the dynasty on the island of Tinian to engage into the casino businesses. And just having him, as our governor, he might be very hard to talk to, but one good thing about him is that if he realizes that he is mistaken, he will come forward and apologize and then take the course of what you disagree with him. And that's one good thing about his behavior, is that he might be very fast to get emotional, but at the same time he's very fast to consider if his statement is not correctly stated, no, and he apologized. Froilan is not really a politician, and that's why he really wants to engage, economic activity more than his politics. Actually, that's the way I look at him and think of him as a leader to ensure economic prosperity to the island and his people. And that one thing I would attest and remember, the way he administered his office when he was a governor, and also as a congressman during the time that he was so aggressive in trying to pass this casino legislation back then.
In honor of Governor Tenorio, all flags across the CNMI shall be flown half-staffed until the day of his interment. Governor Torres and Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios joined the Commonwealth in mourning of the late Froilan Cruz Tenorio.
Coming up, the community shows gratitude toward teachers in the Commonwealth. More after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. I'm in love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. I'm in love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Many schools around the globe have shut down overnight, but this does not stop the community in showing their thanks to all the teachers in the Commonwealth. Sally Lemus has a story.
With schools shut down, families have realized how hard teaching can be, and true educators continue to go out of their way in assuring that students are still getting the education they deserve. This week, the CNMI celebrates National Teacher Appreciation Week, quite unique from the years before. On Tuesday, school buses convoyed around the island, honking their horns, calling the attention of many to show their love and appreciation for teachers. KSPN speaks with some kids who just want to say thank you.
Thank you, teacher, for all the support. Thank you, Miss Diana. Thank you, Miss Paz, for teaching me how to do letters and numbers, and I really appreciate that, and I really do love you guys.
Happy Teachers Appreciation Day. Thank you, WSR teachers, for teaching me. Happy Teacher Appreciation Day.
Teachers Appreciation Week, Doc Academy and NMCI teachers, thank you for everything you've done. Happy Teachers Appreciation Week. Thank you for everything you have done and continue to do for us students.
You play one of the biggest roles in our lives and help us to become the future of the CNMI.
Once again, thank you guys.
I would like to take this time to show my appreciation to all the teachers. They are hardworking individuals who go out of their way in making sure that all students get the required knowledge that are supposed to be consumed. Thank you to all the teachers out there striving to succeed in second parenting us.
The CNMI public school system encourages students and families to show their love and appreciation to teachers by creating videos and other creative projects that come to mind. Visit the CNMI public school system's Facebook page for more information. I'm Sally Limis reporting for KSPN News.
On Guam, a Ninth Circuit decision stands, resulting in no U.S. Supreme Court hearing, and a grant has been awarded to the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. KUAM reports.
Half a day CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. The U.S. Supreme Court will not hear Guam's appeal of a Ninth Circuit Court ruling that a native inhabitant's only plebiscite is unconstitutional. GovGuam was seeking to overturn the decision in the case brought by a former resident, Arnold Dave Davis, that the voting discriminates against non-Indigenous residents in violation of the 15th Amendment. The mainland-based legal firm retained by Guam's Attorney General had argued in its brief to the High Court that, quote, the plebiscite would provide a mechanism for Guam to ascertain its residents' views on a fundamental question of self-determination, unquote. Davis was represented by the Centers for Individual Rights, which argued that the term Native Inhabited was designed to limit the vote to Chamorros, a racial designation referring to the descendants of the original inhabitants of Guam to the exclusion of other groups otherwise registered to vote in Guam elections. The denial of the writ of certiorari basically means the Supreme Court has decided not to hear the case and that the Ninth Circuit decision stands. Governor Lulian Guerrero says it is a disappointment, but it is what it is. She says she will be meeting with Commission on Decolonization Director Melvin Juan Pep Borja to discuss options to move forward. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has awarded a $500,000 emergency grant to the Guam Behavioral and Wellness Center. According to the SMHSA's website, the Emergency Response COVID-19 grant will go toward addressing mental health and substance abuse disorders on Guam. Stay informed 24/7 by checking out KUAM.com or downloading the KUAM News app available for iOS or Android. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Quintero.
Coming up after the break is your KSPN2 Weather Report.
Half a day, I'm Dr. Dennis Williams, eye surgeon and physician at the Marianas Eye Institute.
Smoking can harm nearly every organ in your body, including your eyes. Cataracts are a leading cause of blindness in the world, and if you smoke, you could be doubling your chance of forming them.
Now, the eye has blood vessels in the back of it that supply the retina, which is like the film in the camera of your eye, and smoking can cause a constriction of those blood vessels and affect your vision severely, so much that you would lose your driver's license.
The good news is smoking is controllable and quitting now can significantly help.
Fortunately, these same studies have shown that by stopping smoking, you can decrease this risk in the future in spite of many years of smoking. So I encourage you to stop smoking as soon as you possibly can.
Many eye issues can be treated right here on Saipan. Come see for yourself.
This has been Dr. Dennis Williams of the Marianas Eye Institute.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone. My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour, so that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner. Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Today we had a high of 90, a low of 79, 62% humidity. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with isolated light showers, east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 90, a low of 80, seas 2 to 3 feet. High tide at 6:51 a.m., low tide at 1:41 p.m. Sunrise will be at 5:51 a.m. and sunset at 6:36 p.m. Thank you for watching KSPN2 News. Have a great rest of your evening.